Oh, we are live! How are we, lads? Come on, the footy! The footy spot! Guys, subscribe to the channel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! The Cowboys win it! Woo! Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to the Sunday football review for round 16 of the 2022 NRL season. And I am joined by rugby league YouTuber Pro Enzo Vids. Pro Enzo, mate, did you enjoy Sunday football?
Yeah, bro, I did. I thought both games were pretty entertaining at points. I thought the Warriors' homecoming was obviously a very good game. I was happy with that. And, I think that other game, Dragons and Raiders, that just ended then was pretty good too. Solid, actually, that one.
Yeah, mate, I'm with you. I enjoyed Sunday football. I thought it was good. The Warriors' homecoming, I mean, we will get into it in just a minute, but how good was that entrance?
Oh, so good. I gave goosebumps, actually, looking at it, just the emotion. Everything was so big.
And the crowd, bro. How good was the crowd? But I got to say as well, the negative about it was the 3 or 4 pitch invaders.
That was fucking bad, eh?
That was ridiculous, in my opinion. I wasn't happy about that. I get the fans are excited. I know people are pumped that footy is back in New Zealand, and I'm happy for it as well because it's good for the game to have rugby league in New Zealand. But the pitch invaders were quite disappointing. I was pretty annoyed about that. But before we get into the Sunday football review, I want to say hello to everybody in the live chat. We have about 10 people here at the moment, and I can see there's a bit of a crowd starting to build up here for the review. We've got the Electrical Dust is here. Jason Reader is in the house. CJ Moxley, Nighthawk Gaming. Who else is here? Everyone's starting to roll in now. The chat's starting to build up. It's good to see a good crowd here for the Sunday football review for round 16 of the 2022 NRL season. Before we get into it, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like the live stream if you're watching the live stream. If you don't watch the live stream and you watch it back as a review, and make sure you like and comment. It means a lot. Let me know what you thought of Sunday football in the comment section below, and most importantly, subscribe as well. We are getting close to 2,000 subscribers, so it'd be really awesome if you guys can subscribe to the channel. Pro Enzo Vids, we're going to go back to the very first game, probably the most emotional game of the weekend. New Zealand Warriors 22, West Tigers 2. The Warriors' first game in New Zealand since 2019. The Warriors' entrance was one of the greatest things to happen to the NRL for this season and probably the last couple of seasons. How good was that entrance, bro?
Oh, like I said earlier, I think that gave goosebumps, and just the emotion mixed with just the homecoming was very special, obviously. I mean, seeing all the fans there on a very nice conditions actually over there in New Zealand for this Sunday was obviously really good, and that was awesome. Actually, I was really happy with the Warriors homecoming and seeing the fans all passionate.
Yeah, look, I thought the ground was very dewy. It was quite wet and slippery there at New Zealand, but it was a great win for the Warriors. Look, I don't want to be negative. I really don't. But I thought the Warriors-Tigers game was an absolute shit show. It wasn't a great game. I know both teams were in the bottom 4 and not going great, but the game was a bludger. It wasn't a great game of football. The Warriors did what they had to do. They got the win, and I'm glad they won because after about 20 minutes of that game, I thought the Tigers were actually going to fucking potentially get on top because the Warriors kept mucking up. They kept blowing their tens. I'm going, fuck me, the Tigers get one try and they're in front. The Warriors might fall apart, but it didn't happen. the Warriors stayed calm, and eventually they broke the Tigers open, and they did, and they ended up running away with the win. But, mate, what'd you make of the game between the Warriors and the Tigers? Like, what'd you think of the game? Was it good quality, or do you think it was what you expected?
I think it was what I expected. I knew Warriors would win 13 plus, and you tipped that as well. But I think the Tigers actually turned up, and I think they proved to people that they were going to be in the game for a bit. I mean, that they lost obviously, but they were in the game. They were good in patches. But the bad thing for them is they can't play for 80 minutes. Like if they played for maybe 80 minutes, they would have had a good chance to win that game. But the Warriors, just to their credit, were better in attack, I thought, and were better with the ball. But I think early on, like in the first half, the Tigers' defense was pretty good. Like the goal line defense, when the Warriors kept pressing and like had their chances to score. But yeah, Tigers actually were all right at defense, but just it all for some reason just faded off in the second half. And yeah, Warriors ran rampant. I mean, the game quality. Look, in general, the game wasn't that great, but the Warriors did enough to win.
Yeah, mate, I just want to let you know your connection was cutting out pretty bad there, and it sounds like last night. Last night it worked. It was terrible at the start, and then it came good towards the end. So, just letting you know your connection's a bit all over the place there, Pro Enzo. Sounds like a fucking radio out in the bush. I don't know.
It's all good.
I did hear you, but every time you talk, it'd have like a sort of fucking cutout sort of thing. But yeah, look, I thought the Warriors. I thought they were fine. The Tigers were terrible. Look, they were in the game for a little while, but the West Tigers are an absolute joke. They are one of the worst teams in the comp, and they are an embarrassment. I thought in that second half, the Tigers played like absolute shit. I know going to New Zealand, going to play the Warriors for the first time since 2019, trying to fucking get up for the game is very tough. But, bro, the Tigers' style of football was so bad.
Yeah, it wasn't good, eh? Like, just the way they were moving the ball didn't do anything.
Their style of football was dog shit. And, look, I think the West Tigers are with the Gold Coast Titans. One of them will probably get the wooden spoon because you got to think the Bulldogs should do enough to avoid wooden spoon unless they really fall off a cliff. The Knights should do enough to avoid the wooden spoon. And you would absolutely think the Warriors would avoid the wooden spoon, considering the Warriors have games in New Zealand where they probably win a few games over there and avoid the wooden spoon. But at the moment, I think it's a two-horse race for the wooden spoon between the West Tigers and the Gold Coast Titans, bro.
Yeah, I agree. They're two of the worst clubs in the competition currently. I think Dogs and Warriors will do enough to avoid it. So I agree. Titans and Tigers, it's one of them.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. All right. Well, let's get into the try scorers, mate. All right. The first try of the game, mate, it come through Tohu Harris for the Warriors. Harris got over for the first try of the game. Pretty soft defense there from the West Tigers, and Harris goes over to score the first try, mate. Harris moved to lock before kickoff, and it's good to see a leader and a Warriors, a quality Warriors player score the first try.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's always a consistent player, Tohu Harris, and that was an easy try too. The Tigers should definitely stop that one. But yeah, Tohu Harris, good start by the Warriors, actually, that one.
A very good start for the Warriors. Obviously, it was a bit shaky there the first 20 minutes, and the Warriors did get a penalty goal for a late shot from Offering Gowie, where the Warriors went 2-0 in front, and then obviously Harris got that first try, and the Warriors out to an 8-0 lead there after half an hour or so gone in the game. And I'm not sure about you, Pro Enzo Vids, but I thought going into halftime, if it was 8-0 Warriors, it would have been okay for the Tigers, but Harris Tavita scored off a kick, and then 14-0 up, I'm going, fuck, the Tigers are gone.
Well, that's what I thought too. I mean, after that, I was like, yeah, gee, I think they've won the game now. It says to lose, and yeah, that was a great try, actually.
Yeah, they put a kick cross field, and then I think it was tapped back, and then I think it was Mamalo that knocked it on, and then Harris Tavita picked it up and scored before the ball went dead, and the Warriors went out to a 14-0 lead, and I'm going, well, if the Tigers don't score next, it's going to be hard for them to come back. And the more I thought about it, the Tigers don't even have 14 points in them. So I was like, this game's over. Not even half time. It's 14-0. The game's over. Tigers aren't coming back unless the Warriors really completely muck the game up. But I was confident at 14-0 that the game was over. I'm not going to lie.
Well, yeah, I said it to myself. I was like, if Warriors just continue to hold the ball and keep the lead, then they definitely will win the game. And they did that. And I didn't think Tigers had enough in attack to move the ball around.
It was terrible.
Bad, yeah.
And then, well, mate, we spoke about this on Instagram right before half time. Jazz Tavaga with a dirty, late, disgusting, cheap shot on Jackson Hastings. It was a penalty to the Tigers, and obviously they went for goal on half time, and it was 14-2 the Warriors. But the Jazz Tavaga shot, he should have been in the sin bin, bro. We're seeing them shots all year. Late, cheap shots on the halves. We all know the what happens, the whiplash it does to your back and your neck, and the long-term injury that it can cause you. And they have been sin bins all season. Why was Jazz Tavaga Lorenzo not put in the bin for that shot on Hastings?
Oh, bro, he should have been. I mean, all year I've seen that things like that have happened, and it's resulted in a sin bin. And I think I want to mention this as well. I think during the whole game, parts of the game, there were obviously referees were probably against the Tigers and on the Warriors side most of the time. I thought with some calls. So that's probably one of them, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. There was a tackle. It was on the Warriors where I think it was Tulangi from the West Tigers on Volkman. A tackle at the legs in the first half. It was brutal. I'm going, well, he's fucked. He'll get binned for that because it was a careless, dangerous tackle, and I thought he might have got binned for it, but no. So Tulangi was lucky not to get binned for the shot on Volkman. Tavaga was lucky not to get binned on Jackson Hastings. So there were bad calls going all over the place. But I believe the Jazz Tavaga tackle on halftime where the Tigers took the penalty goal, he should have been binned.
Oh, for sure. I think that was definitely a sin bin. I mean, the game's too inconsistent.
I was absolutely fuming. He should have been binned. Should have been binned. Anyway, we get to halftime and the Warriors are up 14 points to 2. Second half, it's back and forth for a while. Tigers are trying to find points, but their attack is woeful because here's the thing, right? The Tigers, if you put all this pressure on Jackson Hastings, you put all this 2-on-1 pressure on him, Luke Brooks is not going to be able to do anything because Luke Brooks is fucking hopeless. No. Adam Dewey, he doesn't even look fit to me, and everyone else looks fucked. And Famunu Brown's not bad, but they need some fucking help, the Tigers, because they can't rely on Hastings to do everything. And that's the problem with the Tigers. Hastings is doing too much, and they're getting caught out every time.
Well, that's why their attack was so flat today, because I think Dewey didn't do much, and I just think that it's always Hastings.
God, Brooks has got to go.
Yeah, he's a fucking dog shit, and I think it's all the unfair thing is that it's always Hastings has to do so much.
Yeah, no, I agree. Hastings is doing too much for the Tigers, and I feel sorry for him because at the moment they're a mess, and look, obviously they don't have a coach, but they're a mess, the Tigers, bro. And then we get deep into the second half, mate, and Alex Seyfarth obviously ran a decoy. It was an obstruction. A penalty went to the Warriors. Sean Johnson took the 2 points. Warriors go to 16-2 in front, mate. And right at the end there, Jesse Harper's got over a late try, and that pretty much sealed the game. And Jesse Harper's scoring a try, mate. Jesse Harper, in my opinion, he is a very solid player.
Oh, he was good today, I thought. I think it was very good. Some of his runs he made was actually all right. And, like you said, that try pretty much sealed the game, I thought, with that one there. Yeah.
And we get the full time, mate, and the Warriors have beaten the West Tigers 22 points to 2. First game back in New Zealand since 2019. And the Warriors destroy the Tigers 22-2. Tigers, absolute mess. Warriors, I guess their goal at this point is to just try and avoid the bottom 4 and try and play as much in New Zealand as they can. I think there was 25,000 there for the game as well, so a really good crowd in New Zealand, a really good crowd.
Oh, you'd love to see it. You'd love to see it, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, mate, who would your top 3 players on ground be from this game between the Warriors and the Tigers this afternoon?
Yeah. So number 3, I've got Harris Tavita. I think he had a very solid game at fullback, in my opinion. So I think I'll give him a point. Number 2, got Wade Egan. Some of his runs and dummy half were really good, and he was impressive. I thought Egan. And my man of the match, I think, is Johnston. He finally stood up today. It's about time he stood up for a game. He did. So my man of the match is Sean Johnston.
Yeah, for me, mate. Number 3, I'm gonna give it to Jesse Arthurs in the centres. Thought he was good all game out. Arthurs. I thought he played really well. Number 2, I'm gonna give it to Tohu Harris in the middle. I thought Harris at lock was outstanding. I thought he had a great game at lock. Did a great job in the middle there. And number 1, my man of the match. I'm with you, Lorenzo. Sean Johnson. Kicking game was great. I do want to see him run the ball a bit more and take on the line, and he did that a few times today. But if he does it more, he'd be so much more dangerous. But I thought he was great, and Sean Johnson's my man of the match. And the Warriors 22-2 win in the homecoming. The Warriors win, and if I hadn't won, I would have won off my nut because we need the Warriors to win, especially their first game back in New Zealand. So I'm glad they won. I'm glad that the rugby league gods were on the side of the Warriors this afternoon.
If they lost, then it'd be Christ for them.
Mate, if the Warriors had lost, Warriors NRL fanatics and Hold the Ball would be on suicide watch tonight.
Oh, I bet they would have been. Fuck, no.
I'd be concerned for their mental health and their well-being. I'd be very worried. But I'm very glad they won and won well. And good on them. Up the Warriors, all I can say. Well done to the Warriors. Congratulations. Well deserved. Absolutely. All right. We'll get into the last game of Sunday football now at Wynn Stadium down there at Wollongong in the wet. Dragons 12, Raiders 10. This was a really solid game of football. I know it was in the wet. This was a great game, mate. Dragons over the Raiders 12-10.
Yeah, I thought it was all right. I think both sides defended pretty well and turned up in that area. And I thought that it was an all right game. Like, it was a tough, grinded out sort of footy game, which you'd love to see on a Sunday, I think. And I think it was. I think it was lucky that the Dragons won, but they deserved it because they played better for the whole 80 minutes than Raiders did.
Well, mate, let's talk about the elephant in the room that everyone on social media is upset about. At the end, the last play of the game where everybody thought it was a set restart, but the Raiders knocked on and everyone thought it was going to be a penalty and go to golden point. But the referee believes that Ben Hunt was square at marker, and I have watched numerous replays before we came on the air this afternoon, tonight, Lorenzo. And Ben Hunt, I believe he was square at marker. I believe he was onside, and the call was right. But do you have a different opinion on that, or do you reckon it was the right decision for it to be a knock-on?
Well, at first I was like, yeah, I think it's a penalty. But I think when you look at the replays a bit more, maybe he was onside. Maybe that he was slightly onside by a couple of meters, and it's all good. But yeah, I think there's a bit of an overreaction in the comment section, I think, by Raiders fans.
Well, here's the thing, Rod. All these Raiders fans on social media having a big cry about that decision. It's like, you had 79 minutes to win the game, and you decided to fuck up. I mean, why are you whinging about one decision? They had 100 chances to win that game, Canberra. They had more than one set. They had plenty of opportunities to win that game, but you get all these fuckwits on social media having a big cry, oh, this decision decided the game and all. This is like, you had 79 minutes to win the game.
Oh, exactly. They've had the chances and they stuffed it. They stuffed it, like you said. And I think the kicking game was pretty poor. I mean, in the wet, you'd think they'd kick a bit better, but they didn't. So that's on them.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Mate, I got to say, this is a very, very big win for the Dragons. They beat the Rabbitohs 2 weeks ago. And then obviously last week it was wrap round. That win over South was big. Now they beat Canberra in a tight one. They've beaten the team in 7th, and they beat the team in, I think they Raiders were in 10th.
10th,
or 11th. One of the two. It doesn't matter because they won game out of the 8. How big is this win for the Dragons now? That these games are going to help you make the finals.
Well, I mean, with weather, like I told you in the green room, I think that definitely is a big win because it's not easy to win the wet, but also just beating the Raiders, like, it's a game that they have to win if they want to make the 8. Just grind that out, and they did that. So they're in the 8 for 2 weeks in a row now.
Well, if they had lost the Dragons, I think Cameron would have been in the 8. So it was one of those games where the Dragons, they beat South, who were in front of them. They now beat Canberra, who were right underneath them, putting pressure on them. I know everyone's upset about that call at the end, but it's like, Ben Hunt was onside. He was square at marker. Stop blaming the referee when they had 79 minutes to win that game. But every time they can wants to blame the fucking last play of the game. They had more than enough chances to win Canberra. So stop
Yeah,
blaming the referees and get over it. They
it's
lost.
their fault.
The Dragons were a better team all game anyway, I thought. And Canberra, they had enough chances to win, but they failed to do so. And if you watch the game on Channel 9, Jack Whiten was interviewed after the game by Paul Gallen, and Jack Whiten even said himself, he said, we had enough chances to win. We're not blaming the referee because of that last decision. They had enough chances to win, but they blew it.
Yeah, and it's on them because they should have kicked better. They should have competed better, but the Dragons were the better side and they deserved the victory in the end. So all the Rob comments by the Raiders fans needed to just shut
It's
up.
laughable, the Rob comments. It's absolutely laughable, to be honest. Now,
It is.
this win keeps the Dragons in the 8. They're now equaled 7th with South Sydney. So, big win. And you know what that means now? The Roosters and the Raiders are now 2 games out of the 8. So, the pressure now goes on them, whether they can keep up at the top 8 and get back up there. But big win for the Dragons. The Dragons have another big game next week. They play the Broncos, but both sides will have a few out with Origin. The Broncos will have a few out with Origin, you'd think, and the Dragons will probably have no Ben Hunt, so that'll be a big game there as well. And I guess the real big game for the Dragons is in 2 weeks from now, bro. They play the Roosters, which is going to be huge.
That's a massive game. I mean, if the Dragons can somehow either beat Broncos or the Roosters, and that's huge for their top 8 chances.
I reckon they'll be in the 8. If the Dragons beat Brisbane and then the Roosters back to back, I reckon they'll make the 8.
Yeah, probably. I think it's a lock then.
Well, mate, let's go through the tries now. And the first try of the game was a bit of a controversial one. I wasn't thrilled with this decision. The Raiders went for a short dropout. The ball went 10 meters in the air. Amone caught the ball and scored the try. Now, I could be wrong. If you're going to kick off and go short off a dropout, I'm pretty sure the ball has got to bounce 10.
Oh, yeah, that's the rule, isn't it?
If it goes over the line in the air, I'm pretty sure it's all good. But if it's on the line in the air, I don't believe that's play on. I thought that was a really weird decision. I'm not sure what the rules on that. I need to find out. Someone in the live chat can let me know if that's the right decision. But the Amone try, I'm a little bit confused about, because if that was a kickoff, it would have been a penalty.
Yeah, you're right, actually. It would have been a penalty because that always happens. But, yeah, I think that's a controversial one.
I thought it was going to be a penalty to Canberra because I thought, well, he touched the ball before it went 10, so wouldn't that be a penalty to the attacking team in Canberra? So I thought it was a bad call, but apparently not. Apparently it was the right call, but I'd love to find out more about that. But anyway, it was a weird decision. I was very confused on why it was a try, but someone can let me know about that. But Amone gets the first try of the game, Lorenzo, and the Dragons go to a 6-0 lead. Good start for the Dragons.
Yeah, it was. It was a good start. They needed to get some points early on, and they did that. So, nice start there.
Really good start for the Dragons. And then 29th minute, I mean, the speed of Xavier Savage just gets more and more impressive. He goes over in the 29th minute and scores for the Raiders. Gee, he's a good player to watch, Xavier Savage, isn't he?
Oh, he's so good, and he'll get better. He'll get better with more games. I guarantee it. He's such a great player.
Conversion was missed, and we get the Dragons, 6 points to 4 at that point of the game. Yep. Raiders missed the conversion, so Dragons up 6 points to 4. And then what happened there? Was there a penalty goal from the Dragons? I'm just checking here. I can't even fucking remember everything that's happened here. Oh, no, sorry. No, it was 4-0 Dragons, and then the penalty goal from Lomax, so it was 6-0. And then the Savage try, 6-4 Dragons, and then, mate, right before half-time, Moses Suli, fuck me. He is one hell of a player, this bloke. He goes over and scores in the left center position. He's so big and strong, Suli. He knows his way to the try line, and he gets over and scores with the Dragons. How big was that try before half-time, mate, from Moses Suli?
Oh, it was massive. That gives him a lot of momentum going into half-time, and I think if you give Suli space, then he's pretty much unstoppable to tackle. So, yeah, the Dragons need to try and do more things to give him space. Definitely,
mate. The Dragons, at that point, they go to a 12-4 lead at half-time, and I thought to myself, well, bugger me. Canberra are lucky that they're not down by more. And I thought the Dragons were doing I thought the Dragons were very dominant, but the scoreline wasn't that dominant because of the wet weather and how bad the conditions were at Wollongong. But, mate, at halftime, I thought the Dragons were going to run away with this.
Oh, I thought so too. I mean, I had confidence that Dragons are going to win because I thought with the Raiders, like, they weren't really controlling the ball too well. Like, that's what I thought. They weren't kicking well, weren't really, there was no direction there. So I thought the Dragons were safe.
Definitely. And we get to the second half now, and obviously Canberra had a few chances to score some points. They failed to do so. And then Hudson Young, who just went over the top of Amone, who just awful defense there. He got called out pretty bad. Hudson Young went over and scored. He's not bad for a try, Hudson Young. He's in good try-scoring form. Hudson Young gets over for a try, mate, and next minute it's 12-10.
Yeah, well, he has been really good, actually. You're right. And I think he actually was pretty good today, Hudson Young, so I'll give him that.
He was very good for the Raiders. Probably one of their better players. So Dragons up 12-10. Raiders had a few chances to get some points, but they failed to do so. Same with the Dragons. They could have extended the lead, but failed to do so. And then we get towards the end there, mate, where everybody thought Jamal Foley was going to go for a 2-point field goal, but he put up a bomb from halfway. And then Cody Ramsey drops a bomb with a minute to go. And I'm sitting there watching and I'm going, Canberra's going to steal this at the end, aren't they?
I thought so too.
I thought they were going to steal it.
I thought they were. But they didn't.
I was like, fuck, the Dragons are going to blow this out. And then they're going to muck this game up. But they didn't. Canberra tried hard. And then obviously we went over it before. The Raiders quick play the ball. There was a 6 again. And then we thought it was another 6 again. But Ben Hunt was onside. Square out marker. Raiders not gone. Dragons hold on and win 12-10 in a tough physical game in the wet at Wollongong.
Yeah, well, credit to Dragons. They played better and they were very good today, I thought, in the wet because obviously it's not easy playing conditions like that, and that's where the credit's due. So good on Dragons, and as for Raiders, well, go again next time they play because they tried but weren't good enough.
Exactly. Very, very lucky win for the Dragons, but you take your own luck in these sort of games, and these sort of wins will get you in the top 8 at the end of the season. So very big win for the Dragons, 12-10 over the Raiders. Proenzo Vids, who were your top 3 players on ground from the game, 3-2-1 in the Dragons-Raiders game?
Yep. So number 3, I got the Raiders back row, Hudson Young. Like we said, I think he was really good today. Number 2, I'm going to give it to Moses Suli. I thought Suli was actually big in the Dragons win. And my man of the match, I think it was Ben Hunt. I think as a halfback, he stood up today and really steered that side to a win.
Yeah, nice one, bro. I like it a lot. I'm gonna go number 3. I'm gonna go with Xavier Savage at the fullback.
Yep.
Thought Savage was very good for the Raiders this afternoon. Thought he had a really good game in the wet. Savage number 3. Number 2, I'm gonna go with Moses Suli as well. Thought Suli was outstanding in the centers. I thought Suli had a great game out there in the centers. And number 1, my man of the match, bro. I'm also with you, Ben Hunt. Thought Ben Hunt's game management, his kicking game was very good. And if he wasn't out there for the Dragons this afternoon, the Dragons probably don't win. So
definitely. Ben
Hunt's my man of the match in the Dragons 12-10 win over the Raiders. Proenzo Vids, thanks for coming on the Sunday football review, bro. I really appreciate your time tonight. Yeah,
anytime, bro. I'm always keen to come on your channel for any video I can do. And that was good day of footy, I thought. Bring on next week.
Well, mate, it's good to have you on for the review, and everybody in the live chat. I hope you guys enjoyed the Sunday football review. If you did, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the video around to your friends and all that, your family, your uncle, whoever. Share the video around. It really means a lot. Anyway, we're getting on out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed round 16 of the NRL. I may be back later. If the New South Wales team gets announced, I might do another live stream later, or I'll do something tomorrow about it anyway. We'll see how we go. But anyway, hope everybody enjoys. Hope everyone has a great night. And go and subscribe to Proenzo Vids if you haven't already, guys. But anyway, enjoy your night, everyone. And we'll see you guys in the next one.